Welcome back. And here is Samson's take. Just reading an extract, just a piece from Manasseh Azure Awene's new book, The President Ghana Never Got. And I'm reading the epilogue at page 380. The epilogue is at page 380. It is titled, Why I Will Not Vote in 2024. That's Manasseh speaking. Why I will not vote in 2024. I wish I could read all of that to you, but my time will not allow. In recent conversations with some Ghanaian friends who lamented the hopelessness of Ghana's political system, I made a statement they probably considered the dumbest on the subject. The discussion triggered by a suggestion by one of them that Africa might have to experiment something else, for democracy was not working for us. It was not a new proposition. I have heard it many times, and proponents of such theories often point to transformational leaders such as Lee Kuan Yew and how they could not have achieved much if they had to face an election every 4 years and leave after only 8 years. In Africa, Paul Kagame of Rwanda is the role model of the longevity theorists. I held a different view, and I told my friends. First, I pointed out that Africa was home to leaders with long presidential terms in office. Teodoro Obiang Nguema Mbasogo of Equatorial Guinea has been in power since 1979. 1979. I was barely 3 years, right? And ruled for 45 years. As of 2024, President Paul Biya of Cameroon assumed office in 1982 and has been in office for 42 years. As of 2024, President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda has been in office for 38 years. Robert Mugabe ruled Zimbabwe for 30 years. Denis Sassou Nguesso has ruled the Republic of Congo for 27 years. Others also have dynasties that have ensured continuity by the same family. Ghana's eastern neighbor, Togo, has had Nyasengbe Eyadema and his son, For Nyasengbe, rule for 57 years. And it does not appear that the Eyadema dynasty will end soon. This long list is just an internet search away. So it is untrue that democracy, with its short and fixed terms of office, is responsible for Africa's political and economic woes. The African countries with the same leaders for decades are more miserable than most of those that elect their leaders with fixed terms on the continent. I also challenge my friends that if anyone ever said democracy was good for Africa, they should ask that person to name the African country that practiced democracy. Manasseh. Democracy is not about assembling every 4 years to empower a few family members and their friends to capture the state and loot with impunity. So as far as it's concerned, that's what we are practicing. Every 4 years, we just assemble and we empower a few family and friends to capture the state and loot. Check the democracies around and you see that this is so true. A system of governance that does not have checks and balances, where the president has control over parliament and the judiciary and can crack down on the media and civil society with impunity, cannot be said to be a democracy. Ghana has won accolades as the beacon of democracy on the continent because we do not kill one another in large numbers when we go to the polls. In a society of sensible human beings, people are not expected to fight when they vote to elect their leaders. So, voting and not breaking heads and limbs on a large scale cannot be the standard measure of the strength of a country's democracy. I'll end here. My point in that discussion was that Africans could not blame democracy when all we have is a grotesque impersonation of democracy. I concluded my submission by saying that if Akufo-Addo's administration had taught Ghanaians any lessons, that lesson was the importance of democracy. So, you read further and you find why Manasseh says he's not voting. After his investigations over long periods, which found that the state was allocating 850 Ghana cedis for sweepers employed by Zoom Lion, and those sweepers were only earning 250 for the job that they were doing. He got some political leaders who committed to change this, and Akufo-Addo was one of them. When he got into power, he changed his mind. He's continued with what he calls the unconscionable contract that enslaved the sweepers. This will be my take, and I'll invite you to get a copy of the book. You can simply do so by calling 055 1751 499, 055 1751 1499, 055 1751 1499, and it will be delivered to you. The President Ghana never got. That'll be my take. I'll be right back to introduce my guest as we go into the issues to be discussed.